He lost his home, his name, and nearly his mind, but his will burned brighter than their chains. This is the story of Elias Haddad, the exile who never broke. When the world cast him out, he answered with words of fire. His name was Elias Haddad, born in 1952 in a small Mediterranean town cradled by sun-drenched hills. His earliest memories were of orange groves heavy with fruit and the rhythmic call to prayer weaving through narrow stone alleyways. His mother taught him to read by candlelight. His father, a fisherman, gifted him stories of the sea. Elias was a writer by heart, a dreamer who saw the world not as it was, but as it could be. Yet, in a land scarred by division, dreaming was a dangerous act. By his 20s, he was a rebel not by choice, but by consequence. In the 1970s, Elias's words began to catch fire. His essays, scribbled in cramped apartments, spoke of justice, exposed corruption, and pleaded for peace in a region torn by war. His pen was his weapon, his ink, a call to conscience. He wrote for the farmers displaced by conflict, for the mothers burying their sons, for the children who knew only the sound of sirens. But truth has a cost. His words reached the wrong ears, those who thrived on silence. They labeled him a troublemaker, a threat to order. One humid night in 1981, the cost came due. Boots pounded on his doorstep. The door splintered under fists and rifle butts. Men in uniforms gave him an ultimatum: silence your pen or leave your home. Elias was 29, his life packed into a single suitcase. He chose exile over surrender, boarding a plane with no promise of return. His homeland faded beneath the clouds, and with it, the life he knew. America greeted him with cold indifference. He arrived with 2 worn shirts, a battered notebook, and a heart heavy with guilt for those he left behind. No home, no status, no future, just the stubborn fire in his chest and the stories he carried. To survive, he took what work he could find, sweeping floors as a janitor, scrubbing dishes in greasy diners, hauling crates in warehouses. At night, in the flicker of streetlights or the glow of a borrowed lamp, he wrote. During lunch breaks, he scratched poems on napkins, essays on the backs of receipts. His words were his anchor, his refusal to drown. But America wasn't listening. Publishers rejected his manuscripts. Too political, they said. Too foreign. His stories of displacement, of longing for a home that no longer existed, were deemed unsellable. The rejections piled up, each one a stone on his chest. By 1992, Elias was unraveling. He was 40, living in a one-room apartment with peeling paint, his dreams buried under years of struggle. One bitter winter night, he found himself on a bridge over the Hudson River. The icy water below whispered, "Surrender." His hands gripped the rusted rails, his breath fogging in the freezing air. He was one step from letting go, but a voice not his own, but something deeper whispered back, "You are not done." The next morning, Elias walked into a homeless shelter, his notebook clutched like a lifeline. There, among the broken and the forgotten, he found his purpose. He stopped writing for publishers and started writing for people, for the man who'd fled persecution, the woman who'd lost her family, the child who'd never known a home. His stories became their stories. He wrote in shelters, on park benches, in the margins of borrowed books. His words weren't just ink anymore. They were mirrors, reflecting the dignity of those the world ignored. Elias began sharing his work at community centers, reading to small crowds of immigrants, refugees, and dreamers like himself. He gave voice to the voiceless, the waitress from Iran who hid her scars, the cab driver from Nigeria who sent every dollar home, the father who hadn't seen his children in a decade. His essays, once rejected, were photocopied and passed hand to hand, city to city. They were lifelines, proof that pain could be shaped into purpose. In 2005, a college student heard Elias speak at a community event in Brooklyn. Moved by his words, she recorded his speech on her phone and uploaded it to a fledgling platform called YouTube. The video spread like wildfire. People across the globe heard Elias's voice, raw, unpolished, undeniable. His story of exile, of resilience, of refusing to be silenced, resonated in a world grappling with division. Universities invited him to lecture, literary festivals honored him. In 2008, he published his memoir, Letters from Nowhere, a collection of essays and poems written across his years of struggle. It sold over 1 million copies, translated into 20 languages. Elias Haddad became a beacon not because he sought fame, but because he refused to break. His words, once deemed too foreign, became a universal language of hope. He showed the world that a single voice, tempered by fire, could echo louder than any army. Elias Haddad never returned to the land of orange groves and stone alleyways. His homeland was erased from maps, lost to time and war. But in exile, he built something greater, a home for others in his words. He proved a truth we too often forget. You can lose your country, your comfort, even your name, but if you hold fast to your voice, your truth, you are never truly broken. Through his stories, Elias lifted thousands, the displaced, the silenced, the forgotten. He was the exile who did not break, and his fire kindled hope in hearts he'd never meet. If his story stirs something in you, share it. Somewhere, someone's gripping the edge, feeling alone. Elias's words reach them know they're not done. They're not alone.